Are you with me?
We are here.
Yes, we are.
All right, and how did you guys all find each other?
Well, actually, me and Chaz, we live upstate New York, and we actually found each other through, go figure, Craigslist, but that's how we found each other. And it took us, I don't know, had to be a good 6 months until we found X-Bomb out of Maryland, which he's about 6 hours away from us, through a mutual friend. And then recently, about 5 or 6 months ago, we found Kenny out of New York City through a mutual friend.
Nice. And let's talk about some of the fabulous bands you share the stage with.
I think definitely the highlight has been opening for Sebastian Bach. We've been asked to open from a couple other times, but there was a problem with the venue, so that fell through. But when we opened for Sebastian Bach, that was probably, our best show. That was actually in Poughkeepsie, New York at the Chance, and it was pretty much a sold-out show, and everything went great. And we've also opened for, Stephen Piercy of Rat, Tracy Guns, LA Guns, Faster Pussycat, Danger Danger. I mean, pretty much every 80s band you could think of.
Loudness, the Japanese guys, that was cool. That was
Yeah.
fun. Them, yeah. It's pretty cool.
And how long have you all been together?
I lose track. I think
The current lineup, I think, is 6 months.
6 months,
About
and
6
then
months.
me and Chaz have been together when we formed DB Sleez. Was at the end of 2010, I believe.
Yeah.
The beginning of 2011. So I guess over a year and a half.
Yeah,
Probably.
that was around December of 2010 because I was trying to find, the sleaze rock is not easy to find in the Northeast up here in New York. Now, if you're out on the West Coast in L.A., there are sleaze bands a dime a dozen.
Sure.
But in the New York tri-state area, very, very few bands that I can even think of. So it's very hard to find that the people to fill that genre there. But the thing is, when you do find the right group, you stand out quite well because no one else is doing it. So it actually works to our advantage.
Yeah, well, how is the rock scene in New York compared? I mean, obviously everyone thinks that LA is, if you don't go to LA, you're not going to be found. You're not going to be discovered, get a label to accept you. Do you think you have that advantage, maybe living in New York versus LA?
Actually, you know what it is? We do, but at the same time, the rock scene is pretty much shot anywhere you go. We have friends out in LA, we have friends in Florida, and people just don't support rock and roll. Like if you ask Chaz or the rest of the band members that were back playing in the 80s, the scene is completely different. The 80s is long gone. You can't pack a club like they used to. It's just very hard now.
And do you think that's because there's so many musicians in bands versus back in the 80s? It seemed like you had your big group of bands. It wasn't constant new talent hitting radio and hitting the when MTV used to actually play music videos. Do you think it's a little different now?
I don't know, since I wasn't playing back in the 80s, so I never experienced it, but I don't know, Chaz, what?
I think it's a combination of different things. I think part of it is the technology. I think a lot of people are just so tied up to the computers and to their little phones and stuff that they're just not bothering with getting into the reality of the club scene. They're just too busy. Everybody's just sitting on their ass, just staying home and I don't know, not being productive or doing anything really.
And then the other thing is there's like if you want to consider bands like Crash Diet, Sleaze Rock, or whatever you want to call them, like bands like that, to me that's more of, I wouldn't say poser, but that's like the trendy thing. That's the thing that, everybody wants to follow, all Crash Diet. So then, one person spreads it to the next person, and that's how they got so big. And it's just weird. There's some of those bands that just luckily get that attention and that, respect.
And it looks like you guys have a lot of respect. in attention.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've gotten nice compliments from the pros. I mean, we played last November. We played with Tracy Guns. Actually, jumped on stage with us and played Rip and Tear with us, which was totally cool. And he got a kick out of us. So we're friends with Joe Ellis from Cats and Boots and Heavy Bones. He supports us, and it's just really nice to get appreciation from the pros, so that tells us we're on the right track.
That's what matters the most. People that have been there, done that have, know what they're talking about. For those people to tell us, we're doing, great stuff right now, that means the most to us.
Yeah, it's very inspiring, really, so it's pretty cool.
Well, that's definitely, you can't ask for much more, right? I
mean, no, it's really,
when you
really
get
cool,
compliments
very
from
very appreciative too.
At the same time, it's very frustrating though, because we feel like we can be much bigger and better than we are. It's just, like I said, nobody supports rock and roll anymore. Like that's how it seems.
And that's another thing. Unlike the '80s, back in the '80s, everybody had deep pockets. Now the economy is so tight. To get someone to grab you for like a tour deal or something, it's very difficult because the money's not out there like it was back in the '80s.
So, I'm involved with many different varieties of the rock world with, tour managers and executives, bands, and there's a lot of times that they contact me asking me if I have a band available for tours. Now, would DB Sleez ever be interested in possibly touring with some band?
We definitely want to tour, and like I said earlier, we've been we talked to Faster Pussycat. They know that we want to be a supporting act to them, so we'll see what happens with that. I've talked to Scott Griffin of LA Guns, the Phil Lewis version, about, hopefully supporting them on the road.
You also spoke to Buck Cherry also.
Yeah, Buck Cherry, my friend Xavier. It's just, it's very hard because it's really not up to the band either, because when you have management, they really have no say.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So, I mean, of course, to go on a tour with a band that fits our genre, that would be like awesome, absolutely. So that would be pretty cool, and I think it will happen eventually down the road. Just when, we're not sure, but I think something will break eventually.
Well, if I get calls like that again, I'll contact Nikki, and
of course,
absolutely, absolutely.
And then we'll see what we can do, and maybe get you out on the road.
Yes, we need to get on the road.
That sounds good. That's actually what we need to do, is to do getting out on the road and getting a lot more exposure.
That's
we don't have
problem.
enough exposure. That's the biggest problem right now, actually. Yeah.
And would you, we have a lot of rock fests. We have Sturgis, just south of us here, where they're looking for a lot of bands. Would it be worth your while to travel halfway across the country to
Of course,
do
I mean,
especially like Rocklahoma. I would love to play Rocklahoma. Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
And actually, me and Chaz, when we first got together, one of the first things we said were, we need to get out to Sweden and to Europe, all these places where it's really happening. Like, in a heart, if somebody said, let's go play a festival, or can you come on the road with us? We wouldn't even have to, second guess ourselves. We go ahead and
we
do it.
have friends and fans that are in other countries, and we told them, make a big enough stink, and maybe someone will get the hint and get us out there, because we'd love to play. But, just got to get some support there.
Well, I tell you what, the next time I hear of anybody looking for a band to go on tour with, I will definitely keep you in mind.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. Who loves you?
Who loves you? You better love me.
You better believe it.
Okay, disasters always happen on stage from time to time. Can you each tell me some type of a complete disaster that happened to you while playing at a venue?
I mean, for me, I've had only a few malfunctions with my kit, my legs loosening up on my bass drum, and it started sliding halfway up the stage, and
lost your cowbell once to it.
Lost my cowbell. Like, a lot of stuff happens like that, but I mean, that's just normal stuff that happens every show. But I mean, it's kind of funny because Kenny, for some reason, every single show he's ever played with us, he's had something happen. Either his cord comes out,
Strap falls
his
off.
strap breaks, his strings break. He, there's always something, but I love
the
that.
best part is he's a trooper. When that happens, the show keeps going, and he just makes like part of the act. It's awesome. So he just keeps it going. It's really cool. And then he gets right back into the swing, and it's all fun. And it's all good stuff. Me personally, I've been lucky. I may have gotten tangled up in a cord once or twice, but I did crack myself in the teeth 2 or 3 times. Fortunately, I didn't do any dental damage, but I have hit myself in the teeth a few times and saw stars.
Owie, you never fell off stage? Well, the drummer from Great White, Audie, he said that he had to play and he's of course a drummer, and he was playing away and got sick and started vomiting on his drum kit. Well, every time he would hit his drums, it would splash back in his face.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I've had, when we were playing a couple months ago with Faster Pussycat, a few shows, I play very high above my kit. That's how I've always played, and I hit very hard, so when my knuckle comes down, it scrapes my pants. Mm-hmm. And the first night we played with Faster Pussycat, I busted my knuckles open. There's blood all over my pants, all over my hand. I didn't really feel it, but, obviously after the show I saw, this disaster.
It was totally awesome.
Yeah, it was totally awesome. And then the next day, when we went down to Baltimore with Faster Pussycat for the second show, it happened once again. I opened up my knuckles and there's blood everywhere, but that's rock and roll. I love it.
Well, I suppose you're so into it with the adrenaline and all that.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, he beats the shit out of his drum kit. Jesus. Yeah, he really
so how many sticks?
He kills it.
So how many sticks do you go through in, say a set or even the whole?
You know what? I'm really good. I hit hard, but I don't really go through many sticks.
2 or 3 times you might have broken.
But yeah, once in a while, you'll get one of those. It all depends how you hit. And but so there was this one show. I think Kenny was horsing around, and I started throwing my sticks at him during a song, so I lost about 6 of my sticks.
Did you hit him?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he connected.
Get him
good.
good?
Yeah, it was fun. It was all part of the show.
That's great. Well, it sounds like you guys are more treat each other a lot like a brotherhood.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
yeah. It's a Sleez family, absolutely.
Okay, and like every band has, what they've nicknamed a blower. He's the one that pulls the jokes, kind of does some disgusting things, so on and so forth. Who in DB Sleez is considered the blower?
I think actually me, Chaz, and Kenny probably. X-Bomb is the most laid back out of the 4 of us.
Uh-huh.
But actually, Kenny is he is out of his trees. He's probably the most crazy out of the 4 of us.
Yeah,
so if anybody, it's got to be Kenny.
He's also the sleaziest by far.
Yeah, he's the sleaziest, craziest bastard I've ever met.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I would not take him to a farm. The animals would not be safe.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's sick.
Ow!
Yeah, people and farm things like that just doesn't go over well with me.
Yeah, no.
No.
Me neither.
Well, it's not exactly that sleazy, but yeah, it just gives you an idea.
Yeah, a little exaggerated,
So
just
what,
a little bit.
What kind of jokes does he or any of you play on each other?
I don't know if we play jokes on each other, but
sometimes on stage, Jesse has access to the smoke machine, and sometimes he'll smoke me out so badly I don't even know where I am on stage. Sometimes that happens. It gets a lot of hand. I have to start fanning the smoke so I can see where I am.
Yeah, that actually, I forgot about that. Well, I don't do it on purpose most of the time, but sometimes I get a little carried away. And I think it was our last show. We're supporting Lynch Mob, and we're playing at the Chance, which is, a pretty decent-sized stage. Mm-hmm. And when you have, when your fog machine is going off, it happens so quick that you don't realize how much, and I pretty much suffocated X-Bomb, and he ended up kicking the fog machine, breaking it, and I was wondering why it wasn't working, but...
Now you know. That's great. So, do you have any future CD releases or anything of that sort?
No, we have our new song out, Wildcat Baby, but we haven't recorded that yet, so we're going to get that down. We might release that as a single CD. We're still discussing that right now. We're still writing some more material. We have probably about 5 other songs that are in the works.
Nice.
And, yeah. So the way we look at it, we like releasing, 5, 6 songs per CD. We don't like... That's why when we released our debut EP, we kept it simple, 5 songs, because it gets so tiring when you listen to a CD with 13, 14 songs when half of them are fillers. We try to keep everything a hit, everything,
right.
as good as can be. We don't want to put anything half-ass out there.
Well, then people get bored of the CD. They're like, oh, well, I only like, this amount. Don't buy the
Exactly.
CD.
Yeah, and then when you're writing the songs, you try to make each one count. Like I said, no filler. No songs are filler. If it doesn't feel really good and powerful and strong, forget it. It's not done. And our songs they're simple. They're not complicated. It's not rocket science, but it's just fun, simple, catchy stuff. That's what it's all about. That's it. No pretensions.
Well, I think with that attitude and the way you guys, I think somebody somewhere is gonna catch you guys at the right time.
It's a matter of time.
Right.
We're hoping, because we've had a lot of we haven't had any negative publicity yet. I mean, I fully expect it to happen, but for up until this point, we've had no negative publicity whatsoever. But so that's cool. I'm sure there will be down the road, but things have been very cool, and we're very grateful for the way things have been going so far.
Well, it sounds like you're working your way to the top, and I wish you guys the best. I really do.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the support we get from the people that do show us support. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, really. I mean, we have the people that drive hours to come see us, and that's so cool, and we love them all. It's really appreciated, So, all good stuff.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple of local people that live close by, and they never come to see us, but that's their loss.
There's a lot of people that say, I pretty much don't have any friends my age anymore because they never showed me any support. So I said fuck that, and I went on with my life. So my friends are pretty much my family, my band. That's pretty much it. And the younger generation they're shot. So enough with that.
Yeah. Some of them are so jealous by your succession. Some of them are, we support you, but they do absolutely nothing to actually support you.
Right.
I go through that with my radio station. A lot of my really super close friends, even my boyfriend at the time, he never even checked out any of my shows. And it's like,
that's not acceptable.
Yeah, I don't get that. Yeah.
How can you say you support me and love me and wish me the best when you're doing absolutely nothing to watch my YouTubes after the show, never tune in live?
Yeah, see, that's ridiculous. Luckily, my family, my girlfriend, they show me, tons of support all the time. My family usually comes at any show that we play in the Northeast, either, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, any of those areas.
Yeah, and
my family will drive out to that.
I have 2 kids
Nice.
also, and, they come to support me wherever they can, and that's awesome, so it's very cool.
That is very cool. Are any of your children musically gifted?
No, my son plays keyboards, and he sings and does acting. Actually, my daughter used to play the violin, but she gave it up, and she was starting to get good at it too. But now she's taking accounting, and she's doing very well at that, and that's going to make big bucks. So I'm like, okay, go for it. Good.
Yeah. That and then you don't have to pay to get
as long as they're happy, and like I said, they always try to make the shows wherever they can, and that's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, you need the support.
Yeah. So that last song is 69. That was written like about 20 minutes. That song.
And it's still my favorite.
And it's my favorite. And it was the quickest song I wrote, and it was like 20 minutes to do it. And like I said, it was like a river. It just flowed, and it was like, whoa. Let me just get it was like my brain was just telling me what to write down. It was like crazy stuff. It was awesome.
Well,
I wish I had that all the time, but it doesn't work that way.
No, like I said, he's kind of slow sometimes.
Well, Chaz, it sounds like you definitely have the art and the talent to write, have you ever thought about maybe selling some of your music?
No, I never thought of that. I still don't consider myself a writer or anything, and I don't know.
But you are.
I just do it out of necessity, I guess. Go figure.
But you are a writer.
Apparently I am.
You are.
It's funny. I don't know.
He's a jack of all trades.
I'm a jack of. I actually am very talented. By trade, I'm actually a plumber, and I do painting, and I do electrical work, and welding, and brazing,
and tattoos,
and tattoos. Yeah, I'm into tattooing. I am pretty well.
He's big into pornography as well. But he never broke through on that.
Well, you sound kind of like a handyman, Chaz.
Yeah. Jack of all trades, master of most.
No, master of none.
Master of most.
None.
No, master of most.
Master of bait.
I break the rules, bro. I break the rules.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, he's one of a kind.
There you go.
Sure as hell.
Already.
They broke the mold after I was born, and they shattered it in a million pieces, and they trampled it. And then they urinated on it. No, okay, that's getting over here.
Well, it's time to wrap up our show. I really appreciate you guys being a guest on our show, and if we have, if anything, CD release, anything important you really like to have the world to hear, being we are a worldwide radio station, go ahead and, you guys know how to contact me. So go ahead and contact me if you ever have something new and exciting, and we'd definitely like to have you on the show again.
Absolutely, we appreciate it. And just one more thing, we want everybody that doesn't have the CD yet, our debut release, you can go over to dbsleez.com, dbsleez.com, and it's only $5. So we kept it, cheap. And I think right now we have a special offer going on where the shipping's like $1 or something. So it's like, beer's more expensive than a CD. So
Definitely.
Yeah, we have great merch. We got shirts, shot glasses, stickers. And really, really cool merch to check out. And that's it. Just we appreciate the support, and thank you so much for having us on the show. And we have your information. We'll see you and talk to you on Facebook and whatnot.
Well,
we'll keep it
you
sleazy.
should send me some of your memorabilia so I can hang it up in my office.
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
we will.
Okay, we'll text you on Facebook and get that information and get that out to you.
Sounds fantastic, and thank you, Jesse and Chaz, so much for being a part of my show. I totally appreciate it.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Laura. You have a great day, and remember, keep it sleazy.
Keep it sleazy.
But keep it clean.
But keep it clean, too, very important.
Clean but sleazy.
Yeah.
Right, and keep the hand sanitizer nearby.
And keep it. You got to keep it trashy, but you got to keep it classy.
And please, ladies, if you're going to throw your underwear up on stage, can you at least